Bonnaroo Bus, a weekly podcast about Bonnaroo and other festivals. I'm your host, Charla.
What's up, everybody? I'm Daniel, and if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, you can tell where we're at this weekend. So we're down in New Orleans. I feel this is appropriate because this is kind of a birthplace of Bonnaroo in some ways.
It is.
Yeah, so if you don't know the story, some of the original founders were kind of from this area down in New Orleans. So a lot of things like, parades and kind of the party atmosphere that Bonnaroo has kind of came from this town, obviously.
It did. In fact, this episode, we're going to take you to a very famous New Orleans landmark.
Yes, we will get to that here in just a little bit. So for right now, we're over here on Canal Street, about, I want to say like 5 blocks away from Bourbon Street. So close enough where we can walk to it, but not so close that it keeps us up all night. I think you might see a streetcar going on behind us in the background. There's a cool theater behind us. I can't remember the name, and I can't see it at the moment, but they have some cool bands. They're doing Monty Python's Spamalot. I saw Lord Huron is playing there here in about a month. Obviously, it's a good music town around here. We went to a lot of places the past 2 days that have some cool things going on.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been rainy, though.
Yeah, today is not so bad. It's been off and on today. So this is Sunday, 2 weeks before we're right here recording this. Yesterday, it poured all night. I felt bad because this is mine and Charles' anniversary trip. And I'm like, man, this historically isn't really the town that you want to be in when it's kind of coming a flood, It
actually came up and said flood warning on our phone.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, wait. I've seen this one before. But no, everything's fine down here in New Orleans. They know how to handle it pretty well. So we did have some stuff we're going through this week. You had just mentioned this a moment ago. Why don't we jump to this thing that we did yesterday where we took it to a very special spot about 2 miles down the road here in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's got some very famous Bonnaroo history. All right, hey everybody, we're here at the original Snake and Jake's. We're in New Orleans, Louisiana. So back when Bonnaroo first started, it was started by the guys from Superfly, and some of them were actually from New Orleans. So they hung out here at Snake and Jake's. Now, if you've been going to Bonnaroo for a while, you know about Snake and Jake's, which is located in Centeroo. And this is the original Snake and Jake's. Snake and Jake's used to be a Christmas-themed barn in Centeroo. Now it's more like a Valentine's themed. It's called Snake and Jake's Love Shack for the past couple of years. But us OG people know about Snake and Jake's Christmas barn. We're about to take you inside and show you the original Snake and Jake's here in New Orleans. And I did end up buying a t-shirt there, and our bartender was so amazing and friendly. I was a little hesitant to go in there. I'm always hesitant to go in dive bars because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes they can be a little rude. Sometimes they can be nice. You never really know.
Well, it's also like sometimes when you go in dive bars, it's like they have their own crowd and they don't accept outsiders, if that makes sense.
Sometimes.
Yes, but they were so amazingly friendly in there. It was so wonderful. So if you're ever in New Orleans, go to Snake and Jake's. Our bartender was one, and he was so friendly and so nice. He immediately knew about Bonnaroo. Daniel mentioned it, and he immediately lit up and just knew all about it.
I kind of feel like he was like, oh, you're one of those. He kind of knew the whole story, that there's a lot of people that come down there for the pilgrimage, so to speak.
Oh, yes. So check it out.
I will say, it was just a tiny bit bigger than I had expected. We had driven by there before, but we didn't go in because we were on the way to Texas the last time we were here, so we just stopped by when they weren't even open. I felt like it was about the size of 2 garages, give or take, in there.
You thought it was larger. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like the lawnmower shed that I've heard jokes about. It felt like a fair bit smaller.
It is tiny, but I guess it depends on what type of bars that you've been into.
Yeah.
Because we do have a very small, tiny bar in Huntsville.
Yeah.
That we go into sometimes. So it depends on if you've been into tiny bars before, I guess.
That's kind of funny because the one you're talking about in Huntsville is the Voodoo Bar.
Yeah.
And it's themed after everything here.
True.
That was really cool.
True, yeah.
But yeah, I will totally recommend going to Snake and Jake's. I felt like there was a great vibe in there. Everybody was super friendly. Drinks were cheap by New Orleans standards. I was kind of shocked about that.
Yes, we paid $5 for
a Jack and Coke. It was $5. That's unheard of in this town.
Right.
And I was a little surprised that they had a really fancy backyard back there too. I didn't know about that. I went back there.
Great patio, yeah.
And somebody's backyard ran right into the Snake and Jake's patio in the back. On one hand, that would be cool to just walk next door to go to Snake and Jake's. But on the other hand, there's probably going to be some shenanigans going until 3 a.m. over there some nights.
It's in a neighborhood.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. You wouldn't know unless you were seeking the place out. All right. Let's get to some other stuff. So one other thing that we're going to edit in that we did last week, I thought about doing a weekend episode, but we had this going on. I'm like, I'm just punting for the regular one. We talked to our buddy Drew.
Yes, Drew Morgan.
Yeah, so you may have seen on the schedule drop that Drew is doing Drew Morgan's Wook Court at 11 a.m. on Saturday over in the group area. And he wanted to come on the pod to kind of tell everybody what he's up to. And we also got up to some other nonsense too. So we'll jump to that and we'll be right back here in New Orleans. We have a returning guest joining us today. He was back on around October, a couple of weeks before we both went down to Halloween. Happy to have Diamond Drew on right now. Why is that your name on Riverside right now?
It's an old character I used to do on my podcast, and I guess where I also have Riverside, it's still up. But I used to do this. It's appropriate. I used to do an attorney who had like the fake commercials called Diamond Drew Morgan. You got rats. Call Diamond Drew. 1-800. You got rats. And I would like sue, whoever.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. My first thought was Diamond Dallas Page, if you know who
Yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about.
I mean, that was kind of, he had the Diamond Drew character had a big hat, the big old belt buckle.
Yeah.
He would go like that on his belt buckle. Dude, everything's wrestling now. I mean, everything is wrestling now.
That is Charlotte's big thing. Like her little comedy bits that she was doing on her Instagram reels for a little bit was like her just like stone-faced talking about these old like 90s wrestling stories. Her favorite was when like the Undertaker threw Mankind like 30 feet off the cage.
Oh, yeah. See, that was sick. And that was awesome. What I'm saying is like politics is wrestling now. Music business is wrestling now. The comedy business is wrestling now. But wrestling being wrestling, that's good. I'm for that.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it where it belongs.
Yeah.
Now, Drew, we got you on tonight to talk a little bit about Wook Court, but I want to hear what you've been up to in the past couple of months since we talked to you. It's been about 6 months. I hear you're in the Pacific Northwest right now.
Right now I'm in Portland. I'm at Helium all weekend, the comedy club. I don't know when this comes out. If anyone's in Portland, I'm here all weekend with Trey Crowder. And tonight I'm going to go see my friend Arlo open for Fred Armisen and Slater Kinney as the Ramones. I'm not super sure what that entails. I heard Mulaney may make an appearance, which I have a very embarrassing story about that if we have time I'll get to. So I don't know if I want to see Mulaney or not, but that's John Mulaney for those not in the business. Yeah, I'm in Portland. I love it here. It's a good time to be here.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen in Portland? I've never been up there. I just want to go to see the weird stuff.
Okay, like consensually or like
Yeah.
I've been to some weird parties in Portland. I shouldn't say like consensually, but like I put myself in weird scenarios on purpose. Like I've seen a woman perform at a sex club. I actually did comedy at a sex club here, and it was very, very awful. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like I got some laughs, but it's such a tough gig because everyone's like, dude, you're the warm up and not like for the band, So like if you're doing your job halfway through, they really want you to get off stage. That is not on the stage, but I just remember like looking over and this woman's like casually cupping this man's, I don't know how nasty you want to get on your podcast. I know that it's more family friendly. You got the totem fund and all that now. You're trying to be an upstanding man in the community here. But I just remember being like, oh, this sucks. Like I'd miss doing stuff at VFWs full of racists in the South. Like it was kind of better than this. I see why he won twice. I see what's happening here in Portland that's making people annoyed.
Man, I want to go experience, well, maybe not that, but the rest of town myself. I see all these memes.
Come on. Come on, Daniel. Come on.
I see these things of like a guy in a dinosaur suit on a unicycle with bagpipes playing the Jurassic Park thing and it's shooting flames. I'm like, yes, I want to see all these things.
There's so much weird here, and it's like the spectrum of like very joyous weird. There's very dark, sad weird. There's like rich weird. There's poor weird. It is a very strange place. I dig it. I dig it a lot. I mean, I visit here. I don't know if I could live here. I think I could. I'm not trying to down, but I love it. But it's pretty weird.
Yeah. Well, speaking of weird, I think we're all excited to get back to the farm here in about 3 weeks. What number Bonnaroo is this going to be for you?
Me and Andy were talking about that, and I couldn't settle. It's 12 or 13.
Jeez, man. That's about the same number as me and Charlotte at this point.
Yeah.
Who are you looking forward to seeing this year?
Well, Rufus is on the top of the list for me. I've seen him once. I've seen Rufus do solo one time,
Yeah.
but I've always wanted to see him at the farm. I think they've been once, but I missed it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see Rufus on the farm. It's also happens to be Andy's favorite band, my wife, and so I think that's going to be pretty special for us. We have a kid, so we're not like going as hard this year. I think she might only come down for that night, but I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah. I would say if I had to pick, I would say the Strokes. I've been really thinking about it for the past month. Like, who would I say is my top? Because I love them. I've loved them for 20-something years, and I've never seen them live. I'm going to try to
Yeah,
get
I've never seen them either. It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to see them at Shaky Knees as well. And I think I'm going to go to both sets. Like, there's a couple bands like Turnstile I might skip because I get to see them at Shaky Knees and there's some conflicts, but I think I'm going to see the Strokes twice. Hey, it's Portland. Stroke it twice.
Oh, my God. Okay. Let's dig in about this Wook Court thing. So I think the genesis of it may have been when we had you on last time. Me and you was just kind of riffing and goofing off about like what theoretically would be cool to have at Rue. And now, lo and behold, it's on the outer Rue schedule.
Here we go, dude. Wook Court. Yeah, I mean, I think that was definitely the genesis of making it happen. The phrase Wook Court first came out of my mouth when my friend Tommy Lee, no relation to the drummer, drank on my goddamn Capri Suns, and I was getting in his ass about it at camp at Bonnaroo, and I was like, I'm going to take you to court, dude. He's like, what are you going to do, sue me? I'm like, yeah, I'm an attorney. I'm going to take you to court and sue you. And he goes, and he said, Wooks don't go to court. And I said, then I'll take your ass to Wook Court. And we had a big laugh and all that. For people who don't know, I'm a stand-up comic, but I did used to be a public defender, a criminal defense lawyer. And then the next year, and this might have been the genesis of me and you having this conversation, you and Charlotte came and saw me in Huntsville.
Yeah,
and you loved my story about Bonnaroo Court, which is me talking about me representing, this is true, I went to actual court in Manchester and represented my friend who got popped with a Schedule 1 at Bonnaroo, and I pled her down to like a whatever judicial diversion, and she has no record and all that. We did our job, but it's just like a culmination of like going to actual Bonnaroo court, and it was not fun, and being like, man, I'd like to do something more fun with Bonnaroo court. So the idea is we're going to have court out in the camps. We're going to do it in group, which I think is the best place to do it because I'm going to invite your listeners and my fans and everyone there at Bonnaroo, and we're going to try to go around Friday and invite people around to come and bring their disputes. You can think of it as Judge Judy meets Bonnaroo, and we're not going to get too serious about it. We're going to have some fun with it, but let's say you and your boy planned this trip for 9 months, and then on day one, he disappeared with his new, Rubu, and he's got his rave chick for the weekend, and you ain't seen him since. And you're not trying to like, harsh on his game, but where's your boy? Just stuff like that. We talked to some of our friends, and I don't know how Bonnaroo is going to feel about some of these case ideas we have, but like one of my friends is like, dude, we've been arguing over who this bong belongs to for 4 damn years. And I was like, a custody battle for a bong? Diamond Drew Morgan is the man for the job. So stuff like that could be fun. But also, if you don't have a dispute like that with your camp, and if you've got like an old one, let's settle it. But if you don't, you can come on your own and just file a petition. Just file a petition for the court. Like one thing that I hope somebody does, because I'm gonna be biased in the court. I want nitrous tanks no more after 2 a.m. There's nothing worse than fucking 2:30, 3, 3:15, 3. Music is one thing, but just like, and then you can count backwards from 8, and then you hear a giggle just like that, Daniel, just like your giggle, and I'm just like, these fucking wooks, man. So I just, it could be a fun thing. It's fun to get the crowd involved. If you're shy, write in anyway. Maybe I'll take your idea and I'll make Daniel pretend it was his problem and Daniel get on stage.
I do kind of want people to be able to bring a case to you. You've got an hour on the schedule. So I feel like if there's a beef that just came up in the past day or so, somebody should be able to like, hey, Your Honor, I need a judgment on this. So like, you are going to be like the judge in this whole thing. Right?
I wonder, I got my judge robe, ordered this one special. I should have wore it. I just didn't think to. Like I said, I have been on the plane all day, and I'm going to see Slater Kinney as the Ramones. Check out this tie-dye judge's robe. Huh?
Oh, that's sick.
Who's got a tie-dye judge robe? Me, this guy. I'm gonna rule on these things. I've got bailiff, my boy Corey Perry. It's probably his 12th Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Corey's jacked. He's huge. So if anyone's in any shenanigans, I have a special gavel. It's a dick. And I got a lot of fun stuff like that. Like if I might send if we have a dispute and you're in the wrong, I might sentence you to drink the Malort. I
Yeah.
might sentence you to hula hoop in front of. It won't be anything wild. I don't want anyone to get scared. I'm not gonna abuse anyone or whatever. This is gonna be very fun. And if you don't drink, I don't know, we'll let your boyfriend spank you or something, or girlfriend or they friend. But
Oh,
I
I
just
see
feel
you've
like it's a
also
fun
heard.
way to. Camp disputes, man. They come up. Let's do it. And again, if you don't have a camp dispute, I guarantee you someone's going to come complain about totems. And then I guarantee you, if I open it up to the audience, someone else is going to be like, fuck you. How the hell else am I supposed to find my friends when I've been abusing party favors?
So, okay. So I feel like we're going to have some that have been written in. You and I were talking about this before we started recording. So we're going to have like a Google form where people can go ahead and submit existing beefs that they want to bring before the judge. So I'm going to edit this after the fact. There's going to be like a tiny URL down here at the bottom that tells you guys where to go. Me and Charlotte will talk about it after the fact. So I think the idea is people will submit anything. So put your names in, what your story is, so the judge can consider it. And you have to. Do they need to be present at Wook Court? It would be a little lame. I feel like if you just read it
It would
out.
be pretty lame if they're not. I mean, I would rather, if you've got something to really dispute, come and tell me in front of the crowd. Again, we won't embarrass you. We're just going to do it that way. It's going to be a lot more fun. We're going to have a great time. If you write something in that's really incredible and you don't show up, there's a chance that I'll just be like, well, with or without them, we're doing this hearing. You know what I mean? By the power vested in me by the Wook gods, we're bringing the hammer down.
by Trey or Jerry. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. By the power vested in me by the spirit of Jerry Garcia. That's great. I'm stealing that one.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fun thing. And I've got some stuff planned too. If no one writes in, I still know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And also, there's enough disputes from our camps that we can fill the space in. We're going to have a good time. My buddy Saxon's going to join us. He's already written out his petition. He's very, very excited to file his petition with the court. He has a very interesting case. I don't think it's burying the lead to go ahead and tell you guys what it is. I don't think it gives away too much. He wants me to pass a restriction going forward against all festivals. If you're there on a day pass, you don't get to partake in the party favors.
Okay.
You have to bring your own. You cannot split a bag, whether that's wine or whatever else you're into. You can't split a sleeping bag. There's no bags being split with your one-day ass because we all know you're going to do more than your share because you're going hard. There's nothing wrong with a day tripper. I'm not mad at you, but you are in it for this is a marathon for us, and you're sprinting right by my ass, just doing laps. And he told me that, and I was like, that's a pretty good argument. I wonder if anybody will come up with a counterpoint.
No, I like that argument. This was a debate. I don't know if it's one that should have been brought to the judge, but since they had been doing day passes the past couple of years, I feel like everybody has chilled out about it now. Everybody's like, yeah, bring them on in. Nobody wants to yuck your yum. If you're just coming for like one band and spending the day, who cares? But at the beginning of that, there was like, hey, it kind of feels like tourists are coming here and just kind of, it feels like for Nashville people that all the people from the West Coast are like coming in. It's like similar to that kind of thing. I might have opened a can of worms with that one. I don't know. But
no, I would love to hash that out, honestly, in front of Wook Court. I would love to hear two people actually debate that, like be pretend Bonnaroo attorneys and argue that. Apart from, Saxon's thing, which is very much more fun, like if your buddy's here for a day, does he get to hang out as much? I think that's a genuine issue of like the tourist thing. But at the same time, just like every town that has tourists, the tourists pay the bills, baby. The tourists is how we eat.
True. That's true. Okay, so here's my other question about Wook Court. Can somebody choose whether they're going to defend themselves or if they're going to bring in somebody that's a little bit more eloquent than them to be their lawyer?
Nothing would make me happier if y'all brought your own attorneys to Wook Court. Nothing would thrill me more if you were like, if you had someone in a full tie-dye suit. Like if you want to press old Judge Drew, if you really want me on your side, bring an attorney who has a briefcase. Open the briefcase to get out the files, and then a nitrous bottle falls out of it. Nothing would thrill me more than for you to really get in character.
Okay. Well, everybody take notes. If you got somebody that can represent you, apparently that would appeal to the judge pretty well.
Yeah. And just some ideas, if anything, like I said, with the Rubu thing, anything, the custody battle over the bong or the sleeping bag or the sleeping tent, anything like that's fun. Hey, we're a courthouse. Let's get married or divorced. We'll do that.
Oh,
Break up with your Bonnaroo girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's Saturday. It might be time. And then you got to find out who gets who in the divorce, who gets what, who gets which friends, who gets which camp. I'm all about it. Bring whatever you have in mind. Custody battles, divorce proceedings, all that is up for game. Or you're just suing somebody.
you bring up an interesting point. You could festival marry somebody. One thing that I saw years ago, this was 10 years ago, me and Charlie went to the Hangout Festival down in Gulf Shores, and there was a wedding chapel on the beach. And I guess you could legally get married there if you brought your own person that was empowered to do so. But it was.
I am.
Oh, okay. But at that case, it was like, oh, we're going to festival marry you. You're like
Yep.
married, pretend for the weekend. I think that's something cool. But apparently you really do have the power in the state of Tennessee to do that if somebody wants.
Well, I did it online with the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster years ago, and I think potentially they got rid of that little loophole. But that aside, your idea is better. I should have let you finish. My apologies. I just got excited.
No.
Yeah, festival married is even more fun, because it's like take backsies. It doesn't really count. We don't want to get the kids involved. We don't want to sign any paperwork, but we're here. We got a guy who's got a dick in his hand that he's pretending like it's a gavel. That's a very real thing. I purchased it, and it also will squirt, and I'm going to put Malort in it. And imagine getting married by me in that robe, probably in a wig with a dick in my hand. Come on.
I can't think of anything more romantic. That's perfection. Well, Drew, well, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say one last thing. I just want to remind people about the petition thing. Like, if you don't have a case, but you have something that's always bothered you, and I don't mean like, bring back the arch. Like, I don't have Bonnaroo's ear, but something more fun. Like, hey, I would love to hear some sort of complaint about EDM kids versus jam band kids or vice versa. Nothing would thrill me more. Let's dive into the real crunchy stuff of this culture. And again, the tourist thing, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, be careful. Some of these have been legendary debates on our Discord already. Be careful what you're wading into.
Let's do it.
Well, Drew, where can everybody catch you between now and Rude? You got any more shows here the next couple of weeks?
I am hosting this Sony music tent for the CMA Fest in Nashville.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's closed or not. In between now and then, I'm in Portland right now, and then I'm off 2 weeks after that. Honestly, working on this, trying to get the promo out. I mean, dude, like I said, everything's wrestling now. You got to cut a promo before you even think about doing the match. But yeah, just catch me at Rue, and if you see me out in the middle of the farm, not when I'm doing Wook Court, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't got to do that. Just give me a nod. What's up, Judge?
Dude, I'm kind of adopting that. You made me realize that is a thing when we talked about that back in October. Like, I've been telling people this year, I am off the clock. If you needed something once I'm done with my responsibilities, no, you didn't. So I'm adopting everything that you've invented with that one.
Hell yeah, that's called legal precedent. And Daniel Horton is nothing if not a follower of the law.
Hey, I plead the fifth.
My man.
Well, Drew, good to see you, man. I'll see you on the farm here in just a couple of weeks. And it's at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Is that right?
Yep. And we will put the Google. I don't know how all that works. I'm going to be honest with you. Daniel offered to do that, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'll send it to you, so we'll just be able to sort through everything. It makes it a lot easier. Drew was like, just get everybody to DM me. And I'm like, you sure you want to do that?
Well, dude, we're even now. This is like when I told you to stop talking to people on the farm when you weren't on the clock. You were like, dude, do not open up your DMs to these people. I was like, you're right. My bad. What was I thinking?
Trust me, you'll start getting some weird shit real quick.
No, from the fringes of Bonnaroo?
Never. All right, man. Well, take care of yourself out there in Portland. Be careful playing those certain clubs. But have a good time, dude.
Thank you.
All right, see you, man.
All right, so big thanks to Drew for coming on the show. You can check him out online, Drew Morgan Comedy. He's all over the internet, so definitely look that up and definitely come out for Wook Court.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
I know he has a couple of things that he has planned that's kind of stand-up, kind of not really. you guys will have to be there. So I know 11 a.m., that's a little early by Bonnaroo standards, but if you're in the group area or nearby, please come down and come air your grievances if you have some beef with somebody. Did me and you have some beef that we're going to take before the court? I feel like we were talking about this the other day.
I thought of one.
I got something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to tell you. I might just take you before the court.
Somebody had a funny one the other day on
What?
Discord, and I can't remember what it was, but it was so funny.
Okay.
I cannot remember, but yeah. Yeah, you'll have to get on our Discord and read it because it was pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of the Discord, we are starting to put up some live at Bonnaroo channels on our Discord. So those of you that are already there and those of you that want to use it, if you want to come by and say hello and kind of plan and talk with us while we're on site, what we're going to do is shut down. Wow, thank you, motorcycle. We're going to shut down the Discord temporarily during Roo, but have like 4 or 5 channels open only for that. So we can like kind of direct the conversation. So there's going to be stuff like weather at Bonnaroo. That one's already open because obviously stuff like this is making us anxious and we want to keep an eye on that. But there's also going to be some other ones for like surprise sets or whatever else we come up with.
Exactly.
So look in the show notes on our YouTube thing, or if you're listening on Spotify, you can scroll down. You can see links to all those things. We encourage you to come participate with us on that. Discord usually doesn't take a lot of bandwidth. So even if the signal gets a little iffy on the farm, you should be able to get on there and find out about like rumors about secret shows and things like that.
Exactly.
Any other safety information, that comes to traffic or whatever. And also on that note, we encourage you to be listening in to Bonnaroo Radio. You might hear me and Charlotte and some of our friends off and on throughout the weekend. We have these like 15-minute segments that are going to be airing at random times. I don't even really know when. It's kind of like half music, half old stuff, half new stuff that we recorded. I know the What podcast is going to be on. Ruham is going to be on.
And don't forget, Friday at 4 p.m., we're going to be doing our live podcast at the house stage in Centeroo.
Yeah, so you're going to be seeing from some of the people that you have seen on the show before, maybe 1 or 2 that you haven't. I think we're going to have some of our totem scholars on. We have a surprise celebrity guest. Hopefully, if everything works out, we have a surprise song or 2 at the end from a band that I think that you'll know very well. Sorry, the security guard was like, what are y'all doing? Anyway, no, we're good. But yeah, things are getting wild. Did you take a look at the map the other day when that came out?
I did, yes.
Yeah? Anything stand out to you on that?
I mean, it looked like a normal map. Why, something stand out to you?
Yeah, I saw a little something on one version. Maybe we'll put it in the video.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
That did stand out, yeah.
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 But no, seriously, I looked at it, and apart from that tent being at the new location, which we all already knew about, and the new like Bonnaroo's, sports bar place, a lot of it looked exactly the same to me as the past couple of years. I didn't see any glaring changes. And, I think a lot of people were going to look at the Outeroo map and perhaps have some speculation on like, whoa, are they anticipating a way smaller crowd? My impression just from the map was it looked normal, not a sellout year, but not necessarily a low capacity year either. Mm-hmm. Did you kind of get that impression too?
For Outeroo?
Yeah.
So it looked like they weren't going to have some of the far out plazas like 11 and stuff, but everything else looked fairly normal.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I did think that like them having camping already designated on the north side of Bushy Branch kind of signaled that like it's not going to be a super low capacity. Because if I recall right, don't hold me to this, but if I recall right, years that we did have super low capacity, there was nobody camped up there. Mm-hmm. Don't hold me to that. That's just from my memory. That's a little fuzzy because of this town right now. But yeah, I don't know if you considered this, but there will only be one more episode recorded at home until we get to the farm.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I did consider that.
So this will release like Monday, Tuesday, something like that. We have one more that we will do. And then, actually, maybe there'll be 2 if I come to think about it. Because like we're going to get there a little early. So there might be one more last minute episode before we get there. Yeah. So 2 more, but we're almost there. So hope you guys are packing well. I think it is about time to go get the bulk of the groceries and start packing away clothes that you're not going to wear at Tilbrew. We're very close. This town seems like a good pregame for us before we get there, given the history with this place that's intertwined with Bonnaroo. There goes a streetcar. I got a story about one of those, but ask me about that in person. We haven't even taken one of those. I think it just cost a couple of bucks. We could have come from like the other side of the river on one of those back here last night.
I could have saved my feet.
Yeah, well, yeah, listen, I'm stupid. I've been wearing flip-flops the whole time. That might have been a bad idea.
Gangrene.
Yeah, probably.
Your toes
I had a good
off.
run. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out with us here in NOLA. Hope you enjoyed this kind of stuff.
You want to tell them what year this is?
what year this is.
How many years we've been married?
Oh gosh, I do and I don't at the same time.
No, we're gonna age ourselves.
Yeah, so yeah, we are here to celebrate kind of a significant anniversary. Just ask us in person. I don't want to broadcast that too much.
Well, it's not 10.
Yeah, it's not 10. I'll put it that way. We're ancient. Okay. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Talk with your crew, get everything coordinated. It's time to start really going to Costco or Publix or wherever the heck. They didn't pay me any money. I don't know why I keep saying them in particular. But it is time to get out there and radiate positivity. We'll see you back home in Huntsville next week.
Bye.